Good morning, afternoon, sorry Wendy. Hello everybody, welcome to our weekly Facebook Live. It's nice to see everybody again. Let me know if you're there. I'm just going to refresh my page so that I can see if you're there. So just excuse me while I do that. And then I'll be able to see who's there this morning. Let me know if you're there. Do say hello, do a like or a smiley face or something so I can see who's there. I will carry on talking anyway, but it's always nice to be able to have a chat with everybody. There we go.
Oh, hi Suzanne.
Hi Sue. Hi
Sue.
Suzanne. How are you this week? How's life in Guernsey, Suzanne? You still got all the sunshine? And how are you getting on with your crochet, Sue? I posted your crochet hooks yesterday, so you should get those. Hi Sally. How are you? Hi Coral. Hi Jane. Oh, it's so nice that everyone's here. That's really lovely. How's your week been? What have you all been up to this week? It's been so hot, hasn't it? We did the thing this week. We did the thing. We hired a jet wash and we cleaned the path and the patio. Has anyone else done that during lockdown? Oh, good. Sue's got her crochet hooks. That's good.
Hi Sally.
Hi Sally. Hi Margaret. How are you? Yeah, we had a very exciting day in the garden.
So much fun to be had with
fun.
a jet wash.
Yeah. We cleaned the path and the patio and the crazy paving and the decking. So that was fun. What else have you been up to this week? We've been very busy with couture. I have to say, this is my finished couture jacket. You can see here. It's all completely finished. And anyone who's made one will know, if you've made them with me, there's a lot of hand stitching in a couture jacket. Took days of that to make it and to film it. So we have been. Hi Libby, how are you? Thank you for your email this week. I did get your email, so I haven't replied. Hi Pat. I'm liking all the waving emojis. Hi Kate, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, so the couture jacket is finished. There's the sleeves with the buttonholes and pockets. Pockets took ages to do. And you can see the chain. Just when you think you've finished, you've got a couple of hours sewing on chain. Oh yeah, Sue's saying jet washing is her new hobby as well. Suzanne's fine in Guernsey. It's lovely and sunny. Oh, listen. Lockdown next Saturday. Schools are going back. Or after half term. Yes, I think that's well. They're hoping, depending on how things go, some schools are going to go back this week, but you still can't travel. Hi Margaret. Hi Jill. Jilly, how are you?
And they want a close up of the jacket.
Ah. Sally said in capitals. So sorry for shouting. It looks fab. I'm really pleased with it, I have to say. I was going to wear it today, but it's really warm in here, so I decided not to wear it. But oh,
lovely
Margaret,
Linton.
that's great that you had your first walk. I hope you're okay. And cleaned out the garage. There's lots of cleaning out to do. We're going to clean out a shed tomorrow, I think. That's exciting. It's such a glamorous life. Jet washing and clearing out sheds. Are you zooming?
I did already.
Yeah, so I'm really pleased with it. So I'm really looking forward to when you can join me in Midhurst. You can have a close look at this and my Chanel as well. But in the meantime, there is a workshop online. So if you want to see how this was made, it's 5 sessions, 5 videos. Morning, Janet. Oh, Janet's received her face
You're
masks.
welcome, Janet.
Oh, did she get one of the vintage florals?
I think so.
Yeah, that's like yours was. Hi, Bonnie.
Bonnie!
Oh, it's so nice to see you, Bonnie. What time is it over there? Thank you, Sally. Bonnie came on our couture sewing retreat in Carlisle, all the way from New Jersey. Look at my jacket, Bonnie. I finished it. Oh, Margaret's painting her shed tomorrow. Yeah, we might do that as well, actually. We did talk
I think
about
that was on the list for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's on the list for tomorrow. Clearing out the shed and painting it. Now we've jet washed it. Oh yes, once the grandchildren go back to school, Suzanne, you'll be able to get on with your sewing again. Hi Susan, how are you? I posted your order yesterday as well. 7 AM in New Jersey for Bonnie. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. How are you getting through your stash of Linton, Bonnie? I think Bonnie, there was competitions who had the most Linton after the couture retreat. Have you seen they've got a sale on? They're doing a weekly sale. Oh, Jane's saying hello to Bonnie.
Oh, yeah, there's lots of the Couture retreat people on here. Linton, of course.
Yes, of course it's Linton. It is Linton. It's a Linton tweed. In fact, I can't lift it up. I sewed the Linton label in the back of it as well. Yeah, I'm really pleased. And then the crepe de chine from Bloomsbury Square. Actually, the Linton was from Bloomsbury Square as well.
We should put it on the table.
Should I put it on the table so you can see it? Would you like to see the inside of my jacket?
I think they do.
Because I've got to stand up. It feels so nice now it's finished, I have to say. I'm really pleased with it. Now it's all finished. You can have a look at it like we did with my Chanel. Right, that's very... Yeah, Bonnie's still got quite a bit of her Linton. I'm not surprised though. There we go. That's the inside of my jacket with the Linton label. There's my all my covered buttons that I did, and also on the sleeve. So the buttonholes on the front are hand stitched, and then on the inside with the faux bound buttonholes on the inside there, and on the sleeve the buttonholes go all the way through. So it is actually a working vent there, as Chanel would say, never a button without a buttonhole. Oh, there we go with the couture ladies. They're talking about their stash of Linton there, and in the back here, these little darts here are what give the shape in the back of the jacket. Oh, Suzanne's got some the Liberty silk. You got some.
Oh, my
Liberty
Liberty
cotton.
arrived
Yeah,
this
you got some
morning.
Liberty
Yeah,
cotton, didn't
I
you,
got
this
some
morning?
Tana lawn.
It's so sweet. They put a little Liberty bag in with it, even though you don't really need a Liberty bag. So yeah, so that's my my couture jacket, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It feels so nice to wear. And the little pockets there, all handmade. And I used the selvage from the fabric to do the trim. It looked like quite a scruffy selvage, but once I pressed it and trimmed it, it made a really nice. Hi Justine, how are you? What are you sewing at the moment? So there you go, that's my couture jacket.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. I love it. So we can now hoover up all the...
Ah!
What?
Oh no, I don't know what I did. Oh no.
Hold on, Amy may have lost
I may
it.
have gone to... How did I do that?
What did you do?
I don't know, I flipped the camera around. I don't know. Oh, there.
Did it look at you?
It was looking at me. I'm so sorry. It was actually looking at the ceiling.
I kept saying, can I try it on?
Can you? Yeah, you
You
should.
can try it on. Hold on, you have to see their arms. Hold on, let me try it on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Victoria. I'm just gonna wear it when I can. Actually, it'll look nice with jeans. It'll look nice with a dress.
Hello. Hello, Amy's hand.
Amy's hand.
Sorry about that.
Did you
It
get
was just
close
my
up?
hand, yeah, and the
There we
ceiling.
go. Look, can you see that?
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm really pleased. If I can tell, I don't know if you can really see, but it's got all the shaping in the back now as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it.
Mm-hmm.
So as I say,
Lovely.
hi Julia. Julia, how are you? So that's it, finished, and yeah, it's a lot of work. So lots of patience needed when you make one of these, but it's so rewarding when it's done, and it feels so lovely. It's got a really nice weight to it. Yeah, so there's an online class for making this. If you're interested, it's on the website. Have a go. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, it looks nice with the black skirt. I was going to wear the black dress today. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Margaret. I'm really pleased with it, I have to say. I'm really pleased. I might even make another one. You never know. Not yet, because we've been making this. It's meant we haven't been able to do much other filming. So this week we will. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Fiona. You haven't started yours yet. Well, it might be an idea to watch all the videos first. It's always quite good to watch all of them and then go back, because there's quite a lot to. There's quite a lot to do. Thank you, Barbara. Barbara's got the videos as well. She's going to start hers soon. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Catherine. How's your blazer getting on? Yeah, I'm really pleased. So that will be, when we get back to Midhurst, that'll be on display there, so you can all have a look at it, and hopefully it'll inspire you to want to make one and do some more couture sewing, because you don't have to use all couture techniques when you're making a couture jacket. I mean, obviously this one has It's more or less completely made by hand, apart from the quilting lines and the side seams. I sewed the all the trims done by hand. The pockets are made by hand. I even sewed the sleeve in by hand. So apart from, like I said, the machine quilting and the vertical seams, everything else by hand. So but it's, so you don't have to do that, but it's nice to have one that's done like that, and then you can choose which of the techniques that you'd like to use in your future garments. So that's what I've been doing. That's what we've been doing. Amy's been making face covers, face masks for her Etsy shop. Hi Angela, how are you?
Oh, hi Angela.
You've been making scrubs, I know, that you've been busy with that. And hi Sally. Oh, Sally's just finishing off her blazer. How's that coming along, Sally? I'm looking forward to seeing pictures of that. Catherine's doing her second toile on her blazer. That's good. It's always worth doing toiles, because if you're going to spend all this time making something, you want to know that it's going to fit at the end, and you can just concentrate on the construction then. So, like with this, I made a toile, and we both made toiles for our blazers, didn't we, Ames?
I made 2 toiles for mine because I had to do a full bust adjustment.
That's right, you did. Yes, yeah. So it's well worth doing it. What else have you all been up to? Oh, this is so nice. I really enjoy our Saturday catch up. It's always really lovely. I really look forward to it.
It comes around so fast.
It does. I can't believe it's Saturday again. That'll be good to get the lining in today. That's a good challenge, Sally. So I expect to see photos later then. Are you doing part machine and part hand stitching on your lining? That's always good. Thank you, Suzanne. I'm really pleased with it. I'm really pleased. It's a bit too warm to wear it at the moment.
It will look great with jeans.
I think it'll look good with jeans, yeah. Yeah. Julia's still making scrubs. Oh, actually some Harry Potter scrubs. That would be good to see. Oh.
Suzanne's making maternity clothes.
Oh, that's nice. I saw the top you made this week, Suzanne. That's lovely. Same pattern as Wendy made. Oh, yes, of course, Angela, yes, it's so difficult that you can't see your grandchildren at the moment, isn't it? But there'll be big parties when this is all over, lots of big parties. Yeah, I think it's nice to put Sally's saying about putting the lining in her blazer by hand, and I think it's really nice because you can really manipulate it and get it in really neatly then. And also Sally's made a couture jacket, so knows about putting things in by hand. I saw also, what we had on the Mid-Her Sewers, Catherine made a Hepburn shirt-waisted dress, which is like the dress I wore for our VE Day live. So we had a little chat about how to do the narrow hem on the bottom.
Oh, Sue's saying we should all make a couture jacket to board the Queen Mary next year for the cruise ladies.
Yeah,
we're all bored wearing our couture jackets.
It's August, so it might be quite hot.
Oh yeah.
But just for a few minutes. Yeah, that would be great. There's a challenge. I think I mentioned it before. There's a challenge that's run on Instagram called the January Jacket by quite a few ladies on Instagram who during the year will collect all the materials for their couture jacket, and they'll start it on January the 1st. And if one makes one, and that's really good. So you can see on the hashtag January Jacket, you'll see lots of lovely ones. What's Janet been doing? Play with her new overlocker. Oh yes, of course. We should
the lower looper. Oh. Yeah. That is a challenge, Janet.
Yes, it is. Oh, hold on, there's quite a long comment. Let me just see if I can give you some tips on that. Managed to break both knee. Oh, yeah, it's so easily done. We'll try and get some overlocker class filmed this week. It's the one that's been asked for quite a lot. Again. Oh, well done. You got it working. Well done. It is a tricky one. Did you get the Janome overlocker? Bonnie's thought that Sue meant to all make face masks for our trip on the Queen Mary.
Well, we might need face masks.
By next August, we're hoping this will be a distant memory. Although a Linton face mask, you have to have a face cover over a face cover, wouldn't you, if you were going to do it with Linton? Yeah, so Janet, well done at sorting out your overlocker. That is a tricky one. I know that's difficult and also when you can't get any help with that. But hopefully we'll do a video that will help with it. Or lots of little tips and things. Kate saying she loves hearing what people have been sewing. You had major surgery, so you've been at home resting, recuperating.
Matching Linton face covers, yeah.
Oh yeah, Kate, I hope we're keeping you all going and keeping you inspired, so when you're ready to start sewing you'll have lots of ideas, lots of inspiration. Take care of yourself. Yeah, using tweezers, that's a good tip actually, Jilly. Using tweezers for threading your overlocker really helps, and you can also get very long needle thread, especially for threading an overlocker. They've got a long wire with a little hook on the end, so you can push them through from the back and pull the thread through. I do have this on my website if anyone wants the overlocker long threaders, but yeah, using your tweezers makes a huge difference. And I've even done it with my old overlocker. I even had a head torch on because it's very dark, especially if you're doing very dark colours. We could make a lightweight jacket, Suzanne. What do you think? There are some nice lightweight lintons. Any excuse.
There's some cotton lintons.
Yeah, there are some cotton lintons. This one is a wool and silk, I think, that I've got here. So what else was happening on Mid Her Sewers? I saw that Margaret was making a new look dress, and we talked about facings for that. It's a price to wear for wearing couture. That's very true. There is looking good. It doesn't matter what the weather is. It is Claire. Claire's saying that YouTube's a good source for overlocker threading videos. And yes, if you put in the make and model of your overlocker, there's often the ones that are provided. I think Janome have got quite a few for theirs online. And Jan, oh, you're going to use my laundry bag pattern. That's good. I'm glad it worked. Yeah, Janome have quite a few videos on YouTube actually for helping you thread your machines. Oh, Bonnie just got a new Juki. Oh, an air threader. Yeah, well, yes. The air threading machines are a game changer, aren't they? Yeah, they are quite incredible. I've played with the baby lock ones. Yeah, we have those. When I'm teaching at the shows, we have baby lock. And Julia's got the Janome air threader. What's that one like, Julia? Because that's quite new, isn't it? That was a fairly recent. I think they brought it out not long before the show at Islington, so I didn't have a chance to play with that. We used the baby lock ones.
I think we should get one.
Maybe we'll get one for the sewing room when we go back. Yeah, to play with. That'd be fun. We'll get an air threader. Yeah, overlockers are great, but like you say, you have to get used to them. Once you get used to them, though, you can change them really quickly. Remember when Amy started back working with me? She hadn't changed hers for ages, had she? And then
no. It was after the Brighton retreat.
Sewing retreat.
So I was having to change the colours so often for everyone. I'm super speedy at changing colours now.
Yeah. Yeah. So Margaret's making a new look pattern, and Suzanne made the top for her daughter. Yeah, the Juki ones are good because Juki are basically, they were an industrial company who started making domestic machines, so they're very hard wearing solid machines, but basically overlockers are very mechanical. You don't often have computerized overlockers, so normally they normally last quite a long time. You don't need to replace them. So I always say when you're going to buy an overlocker, buy the one the highest budget you can afford, because you probably won't need to replace it once you've got it. So that's why I've got no excuse replacing my old one that's 20 odd years old. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll try and do it. We'll put that on our list for this weekend, because several people have asked for overlocker videos. So we'll try and do that. We've got Janome overlockers as well, Janet. So, yes, Suzanne, you've got a Janome out in Guernsey, haven't you? Because your Benina's in London. Some of the machines, I remember, were having a Vista Rossmann overlocker, and the whole front opened up like this, so you could see all the loopers. It was really good. That's out in the studio, actually. So we'll try and do some overlocker videos. So what else have you been up to? Did you watch the sewing bee this week? What did you think? Still liking Therese and Peter, but also Liz. Really liked her, particularly her sleep set that she did. Catherine's saying yes, please, to an overlocker.
Okay, we'll do.
We'll do it. Put it on the list. It's always better when you can do it in a class, obviously, because I can come around and help you and show you things. But yeah, some of the older ones are good, aren't they, Julia? Julia's saying that her friend was given a 1976 overlocker. Yeah, mine's probably 1989, 1990, so it's quite old. But it still works, so no excuse for getting a new one. So what did you think of the sewing bee this week? I was a bit worried. I thought Therese was going to have a bad week, but she pulled it back, didn't she, in the final bit. What do you think about the bone bass? Would you ever go at one of those? They're not actually. There's a lot. there's a quite a lot of nice patterns out there for bone basques, and I do run a corset making workshop, which is more of the traditional corset making, and we use spiral wires and steel boning and a solid basque down the front. But once you've learned all those techniques, they are quite nice to make. Yeah, exactly, Julie. Julia's saying what horrendous to do in that time.
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours to make a bone
Shocking.
basque. Especially because you have to be so accurate. Especially if you're putting channels on like they were doing, you have to be so accurate.
I'm really surprised that most of them got it done. Poor Peter missing out his back panels.
Oh, that was such a shame.
Because he'd done it so beautifully.
But also, I wouldn't have put hooks and eyes in the back. I always put eyelets and lace it up the back.
No time for that though.
You can really pull it in. And if you're going to make something like that, if you're going to make something like that, you want it to be able to shape your body, don't you? So it's quite nice to have some shaping going on. So you can do that, but with the spiral wires and the steel bones and then eyelets, and pull it right in. First time I did that, I thought, oh, how lovely! I've got a tiny waist, and then I started to hyperventilate and breathe. So still let it out a little bit. Don't do it too tight. Sally thinks her best days are behind her. I don't know. I think I prefer the we can cover up our lockdown pounds with our corsets, I think, Janet. That would be quite good. Corsets are quite comfortable to wear as well. I prefer a corset with the steel boning to the Rigoline. I think that's more of a fashion garment, is with the basque with the Rigoline plastic boning. Yeah, it's good fun actually making a corset. I've got a corset. I don't know if it's on the website now. I think there's one up for next year. It'll be now. I think the corset workshop. It's a 2-day workshop, and we do we use the Couture, which is the proper corset making fabric. So you learn how to make a proper corset with all the right materials, and then you can, when you make another one, you can practice putting fancy fabrics over the top. Catherine, my jacket, I've been making it over the last 5 weeks. So because I was filming it, but several people booked it right at the beginning, and so we filmed a video every week. So that wasn't solid sewing. This week was solid sewing, I have to say. The final video was nearly solid sewing.
Yeah, I cracked the whip this week.
Put on couture to get it finished by the end of week 5. But yes, it took me 5 weeks, sewing 2 or 3 days a week on that to get this finished. So you just have to allow yourself some time. There's no rush. I know the people who do the January jacket take like 2 or 3 months to do it, and then eventually they come up with these beautiful jackets. So it's one that you do in between. It's slow sewing that you do in between all your quick makes. So you pick it up and put it down. It's good fun. I really enjoyed it. I've got very sore fingers. I'm not very good at thimbles. I always try and use a thimble, and I always recommend if you can wear a thimble when you're making this jacket, wear one. Because it really saves your fingers. I think Claire Schaefer saying on the course we were out there that if you did an apprenticeship in Paris, you wouldn't pass unless you could sew with a thimble on. So I would fail that. But persevere with my thimble sewing. So who did you think it was the right person that went out this week on the sewing bee? I think that's a bit beyond Ali. It was Ali, wasn't it, that went out this week, which is a bit sad. I did like the sleep sets. I like those sort of things. I actually did one of those silk sleep sets for the last Sewing Bee book when I was helping Wendy Gardner write the last Sewing Bee book for the last series that was on. And I did designed and made the little silk sleep set in that. So if you've got that book, that was me that did that. Justin, you came on the corset class last year, didn't you? So you've got all the stuff. Yeah, let me know if you want to make a corset. I can tell you where you can get all the bits and pieces from for making them. Or come on my course next year. It's good fun. It is good fun. So what else have you been up to? Let me know what you thought of the Sewing Bee. I'll give you some news, some of the news things that I found this week. What have I found that Dior have produced a colouring book. Well, there we go. Oh, the tennis dress was last week, wasn't it, Julie, I think? And Janet liked the Gothics. Yeah, I like that little sleeves. I think that's a new look pattern. If you go on the, sorry, I'll just go back to the same thing for a minute. So easily distracted. The little patterns, if you go onto either the Fold Line blog or So Direct do a blog as well, they give you ideas of what patterns were used in the programme. And I think that was a new look pattern, the black one with the lace. And yeah, Therese did such a good job at the end, didn't she, with her lovely little sleeve set. So anyway, going back to my news while we still talk about the sewing bee. Dior have produced a colouring book. So if you like to do colouring, Dior have produced one. It's on their website, I think. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll send you the link. It's not, I was disappointed that it wasn't Dior dresses to colour in, but it's more to do with the inspiration that the Maria Grazia Cruz, the current director of creative director of Dior, is where she got her inspiration for her last collection. So it's lots of tropical prints and wild animals and things like that. So, but it's still quite nice to colour in if you like colouring and you've got all your pencils. I know Louise likes colouring, doesn't she? I have to send her that link. Also, the V&A have, last week I told you about the V&A have their Dior video on YouTube of the Dior exhibition. This week they've done videos of the kimono exhibition, which had opened not long before lockdown kicked in actually. So the curator of the exhibition has gone around the whole exhibition. She's done 5 short videos on YouTube and it's absolutely beautiful. I watched it last night. I think they only released it 2 days ago. So go look on the V&A's YouTube channel at the kimono exhibition. It's beautiful, it's lovely, and it's great because she actually talks a bit more about the exhibit, so you probably learn a bit more than if you went to the exhibition. All about the history of the kimono. Kimono, the word I didn't realise just means something to wear. That's what the word means. There you go. So yes, have a look at that on YouTube. It's really beautiful, and who knows, it might still be on at the V&A when we're allowed to go back and visit the museum. Really missing our museum visits. So that's a good one to look at. Also on YouTube, Jenny Raymond has just started a YouTube channel. I think she just started it a couple of days ago. I love Jenny Raymond. So for those of you who don't know, Jenny Raymond does lots of patchwork and quilting classes. She teaches on lots of the TV channels, and I've done a couple of creative sewing weekends with Jenny Raymond and Wendy Gardner, and she's great fun. She's really fun. She's written lots of books on twiddling and twisting with calico fabrics, and she's just started a YouTube channel and she's filming it all herself. So do go and have a look. She's put a great video up yesterday of making tucks and twiddling with tucks, as she would say. So have a look at Jenny Raymond's YouTube channel. Our last thing, I just heard yesterday that so many of us have got Blueprint, or what was Crafty classes. They got taken over by NBC Universal, who changed the name and the whole platform to Blueprint. And I heard yesterday that they're closing it, which is a bit of a shocker for all of us that who may have bought lifetime classes or forever classes. I'm still trying to find out. Oh yeah, I will put up a link, Margaret. I'll put up a link to the kimono. Oh, did you go, Justine? Justine went to the kimono exhibition just for it closed. I'll put a link up after the live. I'll put a link up on the Facebook page with a link for the YouTube videos. So yes, I just heard literally just yesterday or last night that NBC Universal are closing Blueprint. They're saying during because of the current climate, apparently. I'm not quite sure what that means. Not sure what it means for all of us that have classes. But as soon as I have any more information, I will put it up. So I know a lot of you probably have got Blueprint or Crafty classes. They're a great reference. And obviously, if you bought them, we would have been told that they were forever classes. So I will let you know as I hear more details on that. Oh yeah, Bonnie, had you just heard that as well? So obviously in America, you probably got it before us. I feel so sorry for all the tutors. I'm not sure what's going to happen, whether we can download our classes. I saw some people trying to download last night, but I had a look. I couldn't work out how to download from their platform. But if I find out, I will. Oh, Margaret's saying she wants a link to the quilting lady. Yeah, I'll put a link up to Jenny Raymond's class as well. Jenny Raymond's YouTube channel. She put a very funny one up about making a face mask the other day. It's very funny. Yeah, it is really distressing about Blueprint. Such a shame. So I think they changed the platform. It was so good when it was crafts in, and they changed it all, and yeah, it's a real shame. A real shame. Yeah, some people I saw, I was looking at, when I found out about it, I went through to find out what was going on, and I saw some people have got like 200 or 300, you know, videos and classes that they bought and paid for. Some people have just paid their subscriptions because they changed it to a subscription service last year. So anyway, I will let you know as soon as I find out about that one, and I'll put up some links to the other things I've just talked about as well, the other news things. But I did promise you a demo this week. Several people have asked a few times about a Welt pocket, so I thought I would bite the bullet and do a Welt pocket demo for you today. So Amy's going to move the camera in so we can do some close-ups on it. But this is I'm doing a single Welt pocket. So this is the Welt pocket that I'm going to demonstrate.
Hold the line caller.
Amy's just moving the mini tripod in so I can show you. Oh, I didn't have a class on blueprints. I never got around to that. I did help Wendy Gardner with one once, but I didn't actually. I never got to fly out to America and do a blueprint class, sadly. Would have been nice. So this is a Welt pocket. So I'll turn it around that way so you can see. So it's a single Welt pocket, and I've done it in bright colours so that you can see. That's the pocket. Oh, excuse my ironing. My iron crashed on the on the iron. So to make one of these, what you need your fabric, your main fabric, and this is something that you could do. Your pattern may ask you for this, and a lot of pattern companies do different instructions for Welt pockets, but I like this way of doing it. It's my favourite way of doing it. So if you're going to do a Welt pocket on a garment, I would always do a practice one. Margaret will know this because we did one on her coats and she made beautiful Welt pockets, but it was well worth practicing it first because you will be cutting a hole in the front of your garment, so you want to make sure that you're completely happy with the process first of all. So on your pattern you'll probably have marks for where your pocket's going to go, and you need to draw a line between these marks. Now I'm using, because this is a dark colour fabric, I'm using a tailor's soap, which is a chalk that disappears when you iron. You'll be marking on the right side of your garment, so you need to have something that's going to disappear. And obviously you can use the friction pens, but these wouldn't show up on this fabric and they don't do any pale colours. So I use the tailor's soap, and you can just mark that and that will disappear with the iron. So you need to draw a line for the length of the between the two dots. You then need a fabric that you're going to use for your welt. And now for this particular one, I don't use the pattern piece that comes with the pattern you're making. I make my own one because then the measurements will all work out. So this piece of fabric is 6 centimeters deep, and I've interfaced it and folded it in half. Okay, and it's a couple of centimeters longer than the marks here. Oh, hi Wendy.
Hi Wendy.
Oh, she said breakfast with Sarah. How's Sarah? And she's just trying on some maternity trousers. That's great. I hope she's okay. Right, so let me just do this. Try and do this demonstration without getting too distracted by the comments.
I'll tell you if there's
okay, Amy's going to tell me if there's any comments. I'll move my mouse up the way. So what you do is, this will be the top of my garment and this is the bottom. So you place your prepared welt piece below the line with the edge of the welt next to the line. And just to mention, I have interfaced where the pocket's going to go because we're going to be cutting a hole here, so you want this to be interfaced. So the raw edges go next to your line here, and you've got an even piece sticking out each side. I'm just going to pin that in place, but not too close because I want to draw a line on my, oops, there we go. I'm just going to move that up a bit because it's not quite in place.
Oh, Wendy, yeah, Bonnie's here, Wendy. She's saying hi, all the way from America.
Yes, Wendy, we'd already talked about the kimono exhibition. And yes, it's brilliant, isn't it? It is really good. Also, what I need to do now is draw a line. Where those dots were at the end, you want to draw a line. So it's perpendicular. Draw it with my chalk so you can see it. Perpendicular to the centre line. Hi Emma.
Hi Emma.
So you've got your middle line, you've got 2 perpendicular lines, and I've carried the perpendicular line onto my welt. There. Now I'm going to draw another line 1 centimetre from this edge here. So I'm going to draw a line here. And in the gap so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now we want to stitch along this line, but what I want to recommend is that you don't start at one end and stitch along. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and I'm going to stitch this way, and when I get to this point here where the 2 lines meet, I'm going to put my needle down and turn and come back the other way. When I get to here, I'm going to put the needle down and then turn and come back and finish about here. And by doing that, you can be much more accurate about your starting and ending points. It's really important with this pocket to be as accurate as possible, which is why it's well worth practicing it. So I'm just going to stitch that now. Oh, I just need to get the foot for my machine, which is all the way over there. Got it. Okay, so I'm going to stitch that along. Amy's going to come in.
I'm just going to do from here so I'm not in your way.
Okay, that would be great. So I do need to try and be accurate with this, and it's really difficult when the camera's there. So I'm going to start here. I've got my stitch length on about 2.2, so you want a fairly small stitch. Come forward and stop right on the where the 2 lines meet. Turn around and come back along the line. And then I think I need 1 more stitch. If you need to do it manually, just do 1 more stitch and then turn and come back the other way, just for about a couple of centimetres. There we go. So that's the first bit of stitching done. I'm just going to trim those threads off.
Well, Wendy watched the kimono exhibition on her smart TV.
Oh, wasn't it beautiful, Wendy? I know, I watched it last night. Absolutely lovely. Now, as well as your main piece of fabric and your welt, you'll also need 2 pieces to line the pocket, 2 squares of fabric. And I normally have at least one of these matching my outside fabric, and the other one could be lining fabric. I've just used 2 pieces the same here. And pocket bags can be any size. You could use the one that comes with your pattern, or you could use just a square of fabric. So it's about the same width as your welt, and then a square. So I'm going to put one edge of the square of fabric next to the chalk line that on above it. So the raw edges are butting up to each other. I'm just going to pin these 2 together. And then I'm going to take my chalk.
Bonnie's saying, are you working on the right side or the wrong side?
The right side. This is the right side of the fabric, which is why I was saying you need to make sure that whatever you're using to mark your fabric will come off. So always test that. So this is on the right side of the fabric. So once you've put your edges together here, you're going to extend your perpendicular lines onto your pocket bag there, and on this side as well. And then draw another line that's 1 centimetre from the edge here, and join those marks up. It's all got very quiet over there.
Mm-hmm. They're all concentrating.
Good. So again, what I'm going to do is start here and come this way, put my needle down, turn around, come back to this end, needle down, turn around, and finish there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So again, starting and coming forward. Just take it slowly so you can be really accurate on where you stop. I'm not sitting in my normal sewing position, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be accurate. Come back the other way, all the way to the far end. And then turn and stitch back to finish. I need to do one more stitch there. I'm just going to go back and do that tiny bit while Amy resets the camera. I didn't go quite far enough. I'm just going to go over that and go a tiny bit further. So I'm coming along. I know it's only a sample, but I want it to be right. There we go. And turn and go back. There we go. Better, that's better. Okay. That's a very good idea, Emma. Yes, you can use washi tape. I normally do a big chalk cross on the wrong side of my fabric. So Emma was saying to use washi tape to mark the wrong side of your fabric. Okay. So we're now going to cut down the middle. Here we're going to cut down the middle, and then we need to cut into the corners, but we don't want to cut the lining or the welt. So I'm going to start it off by folding in half here. And just make a little snip. Okay, so I'm going to now cut down the middle centre line and stop about 2 centimetres from the end on both directions. So cut down the middle line and stop about 2 centimetres from the end. And at this point you can turn over and cut up to the end of your stitching there. So make sure that the welt and the pocket bag are out of the way, and just cut up to as close as you can to the end of your stitching. So when you want really sharp scissors, and cut right up to that corner. There we go. And the other way. And I like to stop about 1.5 to 2 centimetres, because these triangles are much easier to deal with when they're a bit bigger. So making them a bit bigger is definitely more helpful. So there we go. Once we've done that, we can then push the pocket bag through and just pull that out of the way. There, and then we're going to tuck the welt in. So you're going to push the welt up and then tuck the ends underneath on each side. So what you want to do is have those little triangles sitting on top of the welt. Now you'll be able to tell whether you've snipped enough if you haven't got any wrinkles in these corners here. So make sure you haven't got any wrinkles, a bit like when we did the bound buttonhole a couple of weeks ago. So if I was doing this at home, I would press this at every stage. If I was at home doing this for a garment, I would press at every stage, but just because we hadn't turned the iron on, so that's okay. I can finger press this fabric, but I would press that if I was doing this at home. Then you're going to lift up one side, and you'll see that one of the little triangles here is laying on top of your welt. I'm going to stitch that to secure it. So you want to stitch along here, so from the corner of the triangle to the other corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch along here, and then I'm going to do a couple of stitches backwards and forwards like this, just to secure the whole triangle to the welt. And I'm going to do the same thing on both sides. So again, I'm going to try and be really accurate with this. And then go back going to take that off because I just went a little bit too far there. I'm going to slow my machine down. This is a bit speedier than my machine. There we go. So I'm just going to do a couple of stitches forward and backwards. Like that. Just to hold that triangle in place. And I'm going to turn over the other side and do the same thing. Pull the triangle out. I'm going to draw a line so I can see what I'm doing here. So I want to stitch from this point here down to that point there. Make sure everything's nice and straight. Here we go. Those little triangles are now stitched on each side. Well, Julia said she made the iron interfacing makes a big difference. The newer interfacings are so much nicer, aren't they? I'm just going to quickly snip that extra stitch that I did there, so I don't want that one there. That's it. So now we can see that that is all beautifully square there. So now I'm going to push the pocket bag down. So if I put my hand down the pocket bag is there, and I would probably give that a little press at this point as well to make sure that that's all nice and neat. So we've got half the pocket done. So if I lift this up now, that's what it looks like inside. And I'm going to trim some of these threads off out the way. Take my other pocket bag and place it right sides together with the welt. So make sure everything lines up and your other pocket piece is going right sides together with your welt. I'm just going to pin it here. Well, thank you, Janet. I will talk about this top in a sec. I'm just going to try and keep my concentration and not get too distracted and finish my pocket. Okay, so I'm going to just stitch. I'm going to stitch fairly close to the stitching that was already there. So that's the other side of the pocket bag attached. Now going back to the right side. At every stage I do this because I make sure my pocket is going in the right direction. So put your hand inside your pocket, give everything a press so you know that everything's going in the right direction. And then lift up the front of your garment and you're going to pin and stitch your two pocket bags together. Now your pocket bags will never match because it all depends on the thickness of your fabric. So that's why I just use random rectangles of fabric because they're never going to match, and you can trim them off afterwards. So fold your garment back and pin everything together here and down this side. And then I'm going to just stitch these two together. And your pocket bag, like I say, can be any size you like. This is your design. You don't have to use the pattern pieces that the pattern company give you. I'll speed this up a bit now. No, I'm not doing delicate bits. You can could make them curved on the corners if you wanted to. There we go, and just come up the other side. Down. And then finally I would neaten these edges, and you could overlock them, but I tend to use pinking shears for this. This is normally going to go in something that's a lined jacket, so you don't want to be adding anything that might show through when you press it, and overlockers can do. You can overlock it with a thick fabric, but I tend to use pinking shears to do this because then it doesn't create any bulk. It still stops the... I did wash these after Amy used them for
the orange peel.
Orange peel last week. Should really have separate pinking shears, shouldn't we, for the kitchen? We have to make do in these times.
Cocktail shears.
Yes, cocktail pinking shears. Let's get rid of all those. And there we go. That's your perfect welt pocket. There we go. I hope you found that useful. It is a really great one to do. Do practice it and use those measurements that I gave you. If you want me to remind you of the measurements, I can always write those down later. I know we've been a bit slow with I did promise sample portfolio workshops, and we've been a bit slow. The couture jacket did take up a bit more time, but we'll be on it next week, and there will be a sample portfolio for pockets. I normally do that on a Monday afternoon at Midhurst. We do sample portfolios where we do lots of samples of particular subjects. So it could be zips, pockets, collars, yeah, pockets is great because we can do welt pockets, we can do inseam pockets, we can do patch pockets. I can show you how to make these beautiful patch pockets. So I hope that was useful. Do give it a practice. It's a good one. It is a good one. As long as you're really accurate with your turning points and trimming, snipping into the corners, you'll be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Oh, thank you very much. That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I like doing that one. I hope it's useful because I know Sally wanted to do that. And Margaret, well, you did do these, Margaret. You've done these on your coat. It's quite scary when you have to cut a hole like that in the front of a nice wool coat, but if you just practice it first, you'll be fine. Janet was saying about my my top today. This is a Vogue pattern, kimono pattern. Since we're talking about kimonos, seem to have lots of kimonos, and it's got these lovely shaped sleeves. And the pattern in the pattern book was done in a gold fabric, and it had loads of embroidery and bits of bias binding all over it. But I just used the lines that were on the pattern and top stitched. So that was the Vogue kimono pattern, made in lovely linen from Bloomsbury Square Fabrics. And the top underneath is the origami top from the Makes Atelier. I've got lots of these, and I've got the dresses as well. It's a very comfortable one. Thank you, Sally. Yeah, it's a bit windy today, Angela, isn't it? I know, it's a bit windy, but means we can stay indoors and do sewing. So that's all my demos today. I hope that was useful for you. I need to make a space now because Amy's going to come and do a demo for you. Aren't they great sleeves? Susan, that Wendy was saying this is her favourite pattern, and Wendy's made quite a few of these. We had to redo it. The stitching was really easy. All I did was draw the lines with a friction pen and then top stitch over them, and then you iron it and the pen disappears. So it's really easy to do all this top stitching. I used a top stitch thread with a top stitch needle, so you get nice defined top stitching when you use...
Emma's asked you a question about interfacing.
Men's shirt collars. I would use, if you're making a man's shirt collar, you could use the medium weight woven interfacing, Emma. Or use the lightweight and interface both pieces, because even though it's a man's shirt, if it's a Liberty Lawn, you don't necessarily want it to be too stiff. If you want it to be really stiff, a really stiff man's shirt collar, you could use a collar canvas to make it really stiff. But if you want it to be a soft collar, just interface both pieces with a lightweight woven. That would be my advice on that. And Susan, the linen is, it's the Rebecca linen from Bloomsbury Square Fabrics. She's got some beautiful linen. She also does a nice rami, which is linen look, which is lovely as well. So very nice linen. Look, I've covered the table in blue bits now. I'm going to get Amy to come in now because I've been chattering on for long enough. And I know you want to see what Amy's up to this week.
You can tell everyone while I'm sticking to the floor.
Oh yeah, we nearly didn't have a cocktail.
Hi!
We nearly didn't have a cocktail demo today because I was getting the room sorted ready for doing this today, and we just received a lovely bottle of sugar syrup right from Amazon this morning, and as I was getting everything ready it fell on the floor
And
and smashed
everywhere.
And
the worst thing ever to smash all
about
over the
40
floor.
40 minutes before the live, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I've been, as the live's been going on, I'm sticking to the floor even more and more and more.
We have washed it twice with hot water, and we did manage to save enough. For the demo.
A little bit,
just for the demo. But yeah, so that was a disaster.
Complete disaster.
To run up the road and buy kitchen rolls. Oh yeah. Anyway,
sugar syrup everywhere.
It was, but we're fine. We're all nice and calm.
Yeah, we're fine.
Good. So what have you chosen to make today?
So today, even though it's not looking that nice outside now like it was, we're going to be making mojitos because a few people had requested mojitos.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm just going to move that there.
Yeah, we make sure that this is on the table because what happened was the mat is slightly bigger than the table, and the sugar syrup was on the mat and not the table, and that's why.
Hi, Bonnie. So we're going to make mojitos, which is one of my favourite drinks. So to make a mojito, you need some brown sugar, limes.
Suzanne says it's her favourite.
Oh, good. Limes and mint. And rum, which can be a rum of your choice. I think traditionally it's with a white rum, usually Bacardi. But I like spiced rum, so I'm using Kraken spiced rum. So they're going to be spicy mojitos.
Lovely.
And you also need some soda water and sugar syrup, which I have just a right amount in there.
You've seen a lovely bottle of
I had a beautiful bottle of Monin sugar syrup, but never mind.
I'll buy some.
Okay. So I'm making two, but they're both going to be a little bit different. I'm also going to do a strawberry mojito. So for the plain mojito then and the strawberry, it's the same process. Put in a spoon of demerara sugar, and then limes. You want about 4 limes per drink, and I've done that same as last week, a little slice through the pith, so they're going to squish really nicely. So
4 lime wedges, isn't it?
4 lime wedges. Yeah, not whole limes.
Yeah. I just thought I'd make that.
Yeah, thank you. So 4 lime wedges.
Emma's laughing, doing scrape. There's a little bit in the bottom of the bottle.
There was a bit in the bottom of the bottle that we managed to save. And then we're going to put in a bit of sugar syrup, which would just be a drizzle usually.
Oh, that's lucky.
So luckily that's what we managed to save.
Would that be like half a teaspoon or something?
Yeah, yeah. And then before we add the mint, we're going to muddle the limes and the sugar. And I don't have a proper muddle stick here. This is a dowel stick from Kenya because it's the only thing we have. But you could use the end of a rolling pin as well, would work. And I don't know if this will work properly. You're just going to squish the limes.
Is the muddle stick got a sort of a more round bottom?
Yeah, it's a much wider, yeah.
Like
so
a sort of mortar, like a pestle and mortar thing.
Yeah, pestle and mortar would work. So you're just going to try and squish the limes and the sugar together, getting as much juice out of those limes as you can. Didn't realise it could be bought ready made. It's called Monin, M-O-N-I-N, and they make loads of different syrups for all sorts of things. You can buy grenadine, or you can buy nice hazelnuts and chocolates and things to add to coffees, but it's called Gomme, Gomme, and that's the best brand of sugar syrup. You can buy it on Amazon, and I think you can buy it in most supermarkets as well, the sugar syrup. So once you've got all your limes squished up, we're then going to add the mint. So I like to add, we've just found this week when we were gardening some gorgeous mint in the garden with these big huge leaves. So you want about 4 or 5 leaves of mint per drink. Let's put another one in. Like that. And then you're going to put in your rum. So it is a double shot of rum, 50 mils. This is going to be good. Nice double shot of rum.
We do this at the end of the live?
I think it's very important that it's at the end. And I thought I bought a salted caramel one.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, salted caramel. I did have a really good salted caramel recipe. I will rack my brain. And then a mojito is used with crushed ice. So we have an ice crusher.
Of course we do.
Of course we do. But you could use a blender, or you could just put it in a plastic bag and whack it with a rolling pin. So you're going to, at this stage, fill your glass up. This is not a very big scoop. I'm only going to do one at this point because the other one, the strawberry one, needs more ingredients. So
this is the classic one.
This is the classic mojito. So you would get your ice to about 2/3 and give it a really good stir through. Ice is going to go everywhere now.
Go with the sugar syrup.
Yeah, go with the sugar syrup. It's going to be Mojito house today. So give it a good stir through. Trying not to break your mint too much. I would usually have a really glamorous bar spoon, but I don't have that here. So then top it back up again with more ice.
We're going to have to add to our with a mother stick and a bar spoon.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna.
You know, like when you're sewing, you have to have all the right equipment.
You have to have all the right equipment. It's the same with this, and then just give it one last twizzle. And top with soda water. I didn't want to have the big bottle of soda water here, so you just top it with soda water. Put a final flourish of crushed ice, and then you would put a sprig, and we decided to wrap the sprig with some embroidery thread. So you could use any colours, you could do a different colour per person so you'll know whose drink it is. And pop in your sprig, and then you would have a straw.
We haven't got any straws.
But we haven't got any straws. So we're failing a little bit. So there is one mojito. And if you like a sweet drink, like Mum does, you would start it off the same, get to the stage with the mint, and then this is Funkin strawberry puree, which also can be purchased on Amazon, and some shops will have it as well. And if you have in your cupboard strawberry liqueur or fraise, you could put 1 shot fraise, 1 shot rum instead of 2 shots of rum. If you don't, you could have strawberry puree, and this might go wrong.
Do you want to do it with the tray?
No, it's okay. Just do.
That looks yummy.
Yeah, this is really yummy. A double shot of the puree, and also some fresh strawberries. So you could do 1 strawberry or 2, just cut it into quarters.
Oh, Emma's saying very eco not to have straws. Yeah, I think we used to have
We got
plastic
rid
straws.
of them.
Got rid of them. And we did have some bamboo straws somewhere, but I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
So
just break up your strawberries, mix it through with the rum and the mint, and then you're going to add ice again. Oh, we didn't put your phone on.
Sorry about that.
This is a very messy cocktail. I should have thought of this in advance.
Bigger tray.
Bigger tray. Yeah. Bigger scoop for the ice. So again, ice up to 3/4. Get your spoon and mix it all through again. So this is going to be a nice, pretty, fruity cocktail. And then top it with ice again. You can still, now with this one, you can use soda water, or if you really like sweet drinks, you could top it with lemonade. It's really lovely. Oh, I'm just going to go for it.
Claire's saying that her daughter used to make a cocktail around her running her club quiz on Thursday. And it was very successful, apart from the Guinness and protein shake. Oh, that's not a proper cocktail.
So top with soda water, and then you can garnish with, again, a sprig of mint and a strawberry. I forgot to put a cut in, but you just put the strawberry on the glass like that. And there's your strawberry mojito. So we have a normal and a strawberry one.
There you go. That's lovely.
So there's your mojitos.
Can I try and drink it without
You can try and drink it without, yeah.
That's so pretty. I love the idea of putting the thread around the...
Yeah, there's no reason why we can't make pretty garnishes, and we all have a bit of pretty thread hanging around.
Or ribbon would be nice.
Ribbon.
Was it lace? You were saying you could use lace.
Yeah, lace ribbon's really pretty for garnishing, and because the sprig is always so pretty, but it just looks even prettier when it's wrapped around. And I just wrapped the thread around and then threaded it onto a needle and put it through the stalk to tie it off.
Charlie's saying doesn't advocate drinking and sewing.
Well, drinking and sewing goes quite hand in hand, we feel.
I wouldn't have done it when I did my... I didn't try and do my couture properly. I'm doing hand stitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and drink a little bit, but...
I know, I wish we had straws. I did have a bamboo straw somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Oh, that's really lovely.
Is it nice?
I'm only really not getting enough flavour yet, but...
Oh yeah, you definitely need a straw for this drink.
Cheers!
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, cheers! Cheers, everybody!
Cheers, everyone! Happy Saturday!
Happy Saturday! So you'll go off and make mojitos this week.
Yeah. I think next week quite a few people would like to see pina coladas, so I think that'll be next week. Pina colada.
That would be great, I think. And you were going to try and do one without using the oat cream or something vegan as well as an option.
And a really good non-alcoholic mojito. It's really simple. You just, instead of putting in the rum, you can put in a shot of apple juice.
Oh,
so nice. So just do a double shot of apple juice instead of the rum, and you'll get the same colour and all the same flavours, and the apple and the mint and the limes look really great together. So yeah.
Excellent. That's great. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today. Yeah. That's all we've got for this week, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. I've done my whole list of things that's up there.
Pattern number for the top.
Oh yes, I will do. I will do. We'll post the recipe for the Amy's recipe for mojitos on the page later, and for the top as well. Hope you all have a great week, everybody. It's so lovely to see you, Bonnie.
Yeah, lovely to see you, Bonnie.
Lovely to see you, Bonnie. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll have a great week, and we'll see you all again next week.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to go and do it.
Add spiced iced tea. Oh yeah, okay. So I can do a spiced iced tea.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody. See you next week. Have a great week. Bye.